Hello my TBDs, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. These are either ones that you can pick up at the drugstore or are under the $20 price range. So the first one I want to talk about is the Wet n Wild ColorIcon Trio palette. I have the shade Knock on Wood, but I don't think that you can get this particular shade trio anymore, but they do have plenty of other trios out there, same formula, just different color preferences. So these are not sheens. These are definitely more mattes, but they do have a little bit of a sheen to them. So you get 3 shades, one that is supposed to go on your brow bone, and then one in the crease, and then one on your eyelid. What I really like about this trio is number 1, it's compact, it's travel friendly, and number 2, if you are a beginner, this is going to be a great palette for you because it actually shows you and gives you like a guideline as far as what shades you are supposed to put where, and it gives you just an outline to start with. So like I said, it's currently unavailable. I looked everywhere. You might be able to get it on eBay. I think this is because I bought it so long ago that they just have come out with new things and they're no longer carrying this specific trio shade. This is $1.69 at Target, and this is my most affordable eyeshadow palette. So if you are just starting out, I would definitely recommend these trios. You get 3 shades and it's a great price. And these are pretty pigmented for $1.69. So you can see there, this is the top shade, this is the crease shade, and then this is supposed to go on your lid. So again, if you are a beginner, I definitely recommend one of these trio palettes. The next eyeshadow palette I want to talk about is from e.l.f. This is their Prism eyeshadow palette. I have the shade Naked. So here is what this one looks like. It has a mirror, which is super nice. This is $10. You can get it at Target, so it's a little bit more up there in price. And this doesn't have any matte shades. It's all shimmer slash sheen shades. But what I really like about this palette is that it ranges from very, very light to a darker shade that you can definitely work up in your crease. No one is saying that you have to use just mattes in your crease or to blend things out. If you go in with a light hand with any of these shades, they're going to blend out and look really pretty. They are just going to have a little bit of a sheen, but that doesn't mean that you still can't use this palette as an all-in-one palette. These are very, very pigmented. I personally use my fingers when I use this palette because I like the way that it picks up on my fingers. They look very, very metallic on, and these are all great warm shades. They have different shades of palettes as well, so if this is not up your alley, then I'm sure they have another one that is. All of these shades are truly gorgeous, and they make your lids look very wet. While this palette doesn't have a black, it does has a very dark brown shade, which could work. Here's the lightest shade, and it just goes all the way down. These are gorgeous. Yeah, this is a great one at the drugstore. The next palette I'm going to talk about is from CoverGirl. This is their TruNaked Goldens palette. Again, they have different kinds of these palettes. They have ones that are more pops of color, some that are more cool tones, some that are more purple and pink. This one is my favorite though. This is $10. You can get it at Walmart. This palette has amazing, gorgeous shimmer shades. The shades in this palette are more golden olive, so if you have green eyes, this is really going to make your eyes pop. And honestly, this is the one that I just keep going back to. Like if I had to choose a drugstore palette, this is the one that I would go for. And the only downside to this palette is that the eyeshadows are very thin. So they're very narrow, and if you go in with a brush that's like a big fluffy brush, it can be hard to get just that one shadow and without mixing it with other shadows. There are only 2 matte shades in this palette, this shade and this shade. I wish that they included one more dark matte. This can be a palette that you can make work to make an entire eye look with this. Those are some of the shades swatched on my hand. Start from the lightest. This top shade right here is not super pigmented because it's like literally the exact same shade as my skin tone. And then as you can see, the sheens are much more shimmery, and this is the very last shade at the bottom, that dark shade. I truly love this palette if you are looking for neutral, wearable, everyday shades, and I love that they have the darker olive shades down here. I feel like I don't have another palette that has these beautiful dark olive shades in it. So the next palette I have is also from Wet n Wild. This is their Studio Eye palette. I have the shade Coming in Latte. Unfortunately, I don't think that they have this anymore. I don't know what is going on with Wet n Wild, but all the palettes that I like are no longer there, but they have very similar eyeshadow palettes that they just came out with. So I love this more than the Wet n Wild Trio just because I have more options for colors. And this is a truly like broad range palette. So it starts all the way at the top, very, very light shade, and works its way all the way down to a black. Like having a dark brown and a dark black in a drugstore palette is a huge reason why I use this palette. This is $5 and I love that it has light shades, a lot of shimmery shades, and then some more matte dark shades. I would definitely recommend this palette if you can find it either on eBay or whatever. I love the color range of this palette. It just gives you everything that you need in a basic palette. All right, these swatches are getting a little out of hand because I don't have enough hand. So here are the shades swatched top to bottom from lightest to darkest, and then this is the warm brown, and then this is the black. So I just love the range of shades in here, and I love their shimmers. It's a really pigmented palette, and I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for an affordable palette at the drugstore. The last eyeshadow palette I'm going to talk about is from ColourPop, so you cannot go buy this at the drugstore, but you can buy it online for $6 more than you can buy it at the drugstore. So this is the Kathleen Lights ColourPop Dream Street palette. This is a great palette if you want pops of color. Everything I've shown you so far has been pretty neutral, so this is a great one if you love color. Yes, there are very unique shades in here. This is $16. You can get it on the ColourPop website. You get 7 mattes and 5 shimmer sheen shades in here. I love the dark blues. I love the bright pink. I just love this palette. Good job, Kathleen. This is the most expensive palette, but in my opinion, it is one of the best palettes that I'm going to talk about because of the shades and the formula. ColourPop does a great job on their pressed shadows. I would recommend any ColourPop eyeshadow palette. The packaging is so on point. Like when you pay $6 more for the product, you can do a lot more with the packaging and the way that it is designed. I just love the concept of this palette. It doesn't have a mirror, but that's okay. I don't really care about a mirror and a palette. While this palette is the most expensive, it's still under 20 bucks, so I still consider that affordable. And if you don't like the pops of color in here, ColourPop has so many other pressed palettes like this that are themed, so you can find something that's more warm tone, more cool tone, more neutral. They really have it all. So those are all of my favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know down in the comments what are some of your favorite affordable eyeshadow palettes. Maybe I haven't tried them yet. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!